I made a website for reporting illegal immigrants, and somebody reported a man named Julio who works at a pizza shop in New York. So I messaged them and said, okay, is he currently working at the pizza shop? And they said, yes, he works like 4 or 5 days a week. And I said, just curious, is the pizza any good?
Comedian and prolific conservative troll Ben Palmer is back again with another banger, showing how Donald Trump galvanizes the MAGA base to be as unhinged as possible.
And they said, I don't know. So I said, okay, I'm going to take a visit to the pizza shop and try the pizza. If it's good, we'll let him stay. But if the cheese falls off before I take a bite, he may have to go. And they said, okay.
All jokes aside, it is disturbing to see fascism play out in real time and right in front of our eyes. The mere fact that this anonymous tipper felt empowered enough by the Trump administration and today's social climate to snitch on a random pizza shop worker without providing any evidence, mind you, paints a grim picture of what's to come in our country.
Somebody else reported a man who's growing marijuana in the home. So I asked them if they're distributing the marijuana, and they said they are. I said, by any chance do you know what kind it is? And they said, high quality weed, what they call it here. I said, great, that's just the kind of stuff we go for. We've had a hard time sleeping with all these illegal immigrants running around. They said they're now selling to kids and that dangerous. I said, what's the age range of the kids? They said middle and high school. Wow, those kids are about to be high as fuck. And at the restaurant. Damn, that food's gonna hit like crack. And they said, guess so.
Brilliant again from Palmer. Wasting these weirdos' time on phony report forms at least prevents them from doing real, substantive harm for the time being. But don't let that distract you from how sinister the underlying sentiment is. Because of the actions and rhetoric surrounding immigrants from the Trump administration, his supporters feel more emboldened and justified than ever in taking the law into their own hands, something that puts all of us at risk of losing whatever crumbs of civil rights we have left.
MAGA conservatives, you have a family member. They are taken from your home. This person is married to a U.S. citizen with a kid and a job. The police come and take him from your home, and you go, hey, where are you taking him? And they go, can't tell you that. And they go, when's his court date? And they go, he doesn't have one. And you go, what crime did he commit? And they go, can't tell you that. And you go, what the f*** is happening?
Good Trouble, a must-follow on TikTok, is trying to educate conservatives while sounding the alarm on how dangerous this crackdown on immigrants is, using the real-world example of Abrego Garcia.
You come to find out that your family member was taken and flown to one of the most dangerous psychotic labor prisons on earth. And what you also come to find out is that was because it was a clerical error. The government, who ripped him from your home without due process, made a mistake. So you go, duh, obviously he has no criminal record or ties to gangs in El Salvador. Please return our family member to us, you say to them. The government ripping people from their homes and disappearing them without due process is only a matter of time going to knock on your door.
And he's not wrong. If we're not standing up for the rights of the most vulnerable and marginalized groups of people in our society, then we're not standing up for our own rights. The saying goes that no one is free until all of us are free. And when you have monsters like this pulling the levers of power and a media ecosystem willingly falling in line, that phrase is just as prescient now as it's ever been, at least in recent years. Hey guys, quick break in the action. I have a new show coming out called The Rick Strom Show. It is going to be awesome. I'm interviewing musicians, athletes, producers, writers, journalists, authors, sports doctors. Go check it out at youtube.com/@TheRickStromShow. Also be sure to throw me a follow on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky. It can all be found in the description box below. Thank you.
They have the temerity to say that every single invader that Joe Biden let in should get their own individual judicial trial before they're deported, one at a time. Each one gets $1 million trial in front of a communist judge to decide whether or not we can send them home. How about hell no? How about we pick them up and we get them out of this country so they can't hurt anyone else?
But I also think it's not practical to think that we can do due process on 8 million people. No, there's 22 million people here, and minimum illegal already just in the last 3 administrations. And there's some people that got through with Trump's administration. If we're going to give every these guys a day in court and a lawyer, we can't do it. They don't deserve it. Our system doesn't need to be double burdened.
Keep Miller's and Kilmeade's words in mind, because Good Trouble also has some thoughts on the hypocrisy and inhumanity of advocating to eliminate due process rights for anyone suspected of being an undocumented immigrant, while simultaneously downplaying and dismissing the Signalgate group chat scandal.
Mushbrain weirdos looking you dead in the eye and telling you that you need to deport undocumented migrants because they represent a national security issue, while at the same time arguing that the highest military officers in our government leaking war plans to a journalist is not somehow a matter of national security is dissonance I cannot describe with words that I have. If you cheer on that same incompetent government while they deport an innocent man to an El Salvadorian labor prison because he had an autism awareness tattoo, I have some words for you.
Spot on again. While the drama and sheer absurdity of the Signalgate scandal is worth covering in its own right, it's been incredibly disappointing, yet totally expected, that the vast majority of coverage from legacy media outlets is focused on the incompetence of the administration and not the collapsing of an entire civilian building to get one target, in addition to the rest of the civilians that were reportedly killed in the attack, who the officials claimed that a total of 53 people were killed by the attack, detailed in the infamous Signal group message, reportedly including 5 children and injuring over 90 others, as our government has yet to confirm or deny the reports from the group.
Donald Trump can go on Fifth Avenue right now and shoot someone, and it would not change my support for him, because I would probably find it justifiable. God. Yes. I am
should not
okay
have
with that.
said that, on this podcast. You should not
No,
say
it's
that.
insane, but I'm just trying.
So you realize how indoctrinated you must be?
It's not indoctrination.
Your brain is fried. Do you hear what you just said? He could go and shoot somebody.
Yes.
You heard it from disgraced Congressman and fraudster George Santos. So many of our fellow Americans simply do not care or don't even realize how damaging this line of thinking is to the rest of us regular, ordinary people. They think their proximity to power will help them, but that's never guaranteed with people like this out there.
Like, actually, a lot more people think that if you could just literally just shoot people at the border, like they wouldn't come anymore. If you put alligators out there or snakes in the water.
Would we want to be a country that shot people who came across the border then?
Yeah, I mean, because you can't just let everyone overrun the country, because you're gonna make it so the whole boat crashes, tips over and sinks. You want to only let in a certain amount, and you want to marry. You don't want, and you want to scream too. You don't want just people to walk in by foot. Right. You want them to come by airplanes. You want them to come by trains. You want to screen them. You don't know who they are before they come in.
So once in a while, if you shot some, you think it would scare people from coming?
And like, why do people think that we have to be the country that lets everyone in? Like everyone's under this like brainwashing that you have to let everyone in, or you're a mean person or something.
Well, we were a country of immigrants, right?
I mean, you could go back to like ancient Rome. The same thing. They let in too many people from around their empire.
But I'm just talking about our country was founded on principles about give us your tired, you're poor, you're hungry.
But we didn't have they weren't getting food stamps. They weren't getting supported by the government when they came here. They were on their own when they came here. If they did that now, people would respect them more. If they did that, we want the country to go back to how it was.
In what ways? What was it? What did you prefer then to now?
Well, I mean, obviously a lot of things didn't get accomplished because he tried, to close the border and all that stuff. Like, that's important to us, but he wasn't able to accomplish all the way. We like this travel ban to keep America safe. We liked how he was trying to take money away from tell NATO countries to start putting more money out.
When you say the travel ban, the Muslim travel ban?
Yeah, because I mean, you gotta keep the country safe, even though if it hurts some people's feelings. You just gotta do it.
If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports, and or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.